I'm Wesley Morris, and this is Cannonball. Last week on the show, we were talking about the New York Times poll of the 100 greatest movies of the 21st century. And toward the end, I got a little indignant about the idea that a lot of the films on that list, fun, smart movies based on an original script, they just wouldn't get made now. They'd be considered too risky. And we can see that aversion to risk in the industry's response to one of the few risky movies that did get made by Hollywood this year, Ryan Coogler's Sinners. When it came out in the spring, it was sold to everybody as a vampire movie with twin Michael B. Jordans. I'm getting in line. But then you actually get to the theater and you discover this is a movie with a lot of ideas about American race and history and music. The two MBJs open a juke joint in Jim Crow-era Mississippi, and the music there is so good that a trio of white vampires show up at this club to bite some black necks. So, the vampires are vampires, yes, but they're also a metaphor. Sinners is the year's most popular movie that's not a sequel, not a prequel, not a reboot, not like there's been much competition. And it should be a message that we want more of this, more wild and crazy, more risk. But the movie's success seemed to stun Hollywood and the people who cover it, as though they forgot Coogler was the same filmmaker who also made two Black Panthers in the first Creed. As it turns out, this guy has got a Spielbergian knack for crowd pleasing. Sinners hit HBO Max earlier this month, and even though it came out too late for anybody to put it on their 21st century list, I'm bumping it up to the top of your queue because it's something rare now for a Hollywood hit. A movie people still have a lot of feelings and thoughts and questions about. I unpacked a lot of mine with my friend Rembert Browne not long after I saw it for the second time in a movie theater. Here's my conversation with Rem. Rembert!
Hey, Wes.
Welcome to this show.
Thank you.
We have had this movie Sinners in our lives for a minute now. The movie came out in the middle of April, but you saw it before everybody else did.
So I saw it at a studio in a room with like 15 other people because I got a text from Ryan and immediately I was like, wow, like he still got my number. That's great. that's
Ryan
great
Coogler is inviting you to a private screening in Los Angeles. I understand.
I profiled him and Michael B. simultaneously for New York Mag in like 2016. This is Creed era.
Yeah.
And, continued to be collegial. I remember watching it, not fully sure why I was even there, but thrilled to be there. And when I got home, my wife was like, tell me everything. And I was very much like, oh, this is going to be a smash.
Oh, you knew?
Well, I was like, the audiences that I thought would be like super into it, I felt like we're going to be happy. What I wasn't expecting, I saw it for a second time and I was like, wow, a packed theater in week 4.
Yep.
Like that's, I didn't, doesn't happen a lot.
No, just to reiterate, not for a movie full of Black people set in the 1930s during Jim Crow, some of the Jim Crowiest times in one of the Jim Crowiest places, Mississippi. And, at this point, it would have taken an hour for the thing that was advertised was going to happen to begin to happen, right? Mm-hmm. Which is the vampires, by the way. I should just be clear. People have gone to the vampire movie to see the vampires do their thing, but that takes an hour. And I don't know about you, but they could have done 2 hours of the first hour, and the vampires could never show up.
I would have been like, great job, Ryan. Like you like the first hour was was an incredible character building hour. You were invested in a ton of people who were in that house by the time the vampires got there.
You twins? Nah, we cousins.
Yeah, so this is the two brothers, Smoke and Stack, who are played both by Michael B. Jordan, to say it again. But basically, you know, what you're watching for that first hour is these two brothers procuring the stuff to fill the club, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking we just set up tonight. Open up next weekend. Nah, fuck that. It's gotta be tonight. Grand opening, start this shit with a bang. Or we start with a misfire.
So they buy the land. Then they split up, and they're procuring the talent to play on Saturday night.
What can I do for you?
We throwing a big event tonight.
What you need?
I need catfish for 100 people.
They have to go by the Chinese American stores to basically get the catfish.
Yeah. Get the catfish and the sign.
We're gonna need a sign too. You think Grace will be up to making us one?
When would you need it done?
Tonight.
And they need a sign made. And so by the time you get to this club...
Right this way, ladies. Come on in. Welcome to Club Juke.
We about to get it popping like fish grease, boy.
You understand a lot of things about this world, how special what they're about to do is. And it's kind of fun because it's being conducted in the spirit of conviviality and good cheer.
And like a time when you know it's very hard to be black.
Yes. Jim Crow is all over town.
It's
yes.
oof.
That old nigga worked his ass off for them wooden nickels. See, these niggas been working in the field all day. When they show up here, let them enjoy themselves.
They gotta feel wanted if you want to see the work.
And I think that the one of the things that I love about this movie is that it's a movie in which the blues plays a central role, but it's also the blues as an idea, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not so much that life is bad and life is terrible and life is sad and there's racism everywhere. And I mean, that's part of the blues, but the blues is also an ethos, right? Mm-hmm. And the blues is about being alive and having life in you. And this movie is really living this other idea of the blues as a life-giving force rather than a life burden.
Yeah, I feel like blues is often connected solely to like a darkness.
Yes.
It doesn't always carry it with it. This is something that we can gather and like, you know, cleanse ourselves. Like, even if it's just for one night.
I will say that one of the powers of that first hour is you meet one of these main characters. There are three main characters. Well, there's a lot of main characters, but there's a third protagonist basically alongside the twins, and it's their cousin who's played by Miles Caton. The character's name is Sammy. He is a preacher's son who does sharecropping during the week, but his passion, his first love...
I've been working all week, Pop. Want to be free of all this for a day, to play music.
Is his guitar and playing music. And his music, of course, is Preacher Boy. Exactly. That's his other name, is the blues. And there's this moment while they're gathering all the provisions and all this other stuff to like get the night going. They're in the car. He's with one of the twins, and he just starts playing.
Traveling, I don't know where the world I'm in. Traveling, I don't know why the world I'm in. Woo!
And the look on this particular Michael B. Jordan's face is like...
It's really good.
Ka-ching.
It's really good.
We gonna make some money. We gonna make some money.
It's one of the lasting like visuals. The joy of like, wow, I just found him is pretty great.
And it's great to see a black person have that reaction as opposed to the way it historically would happen, which is a white person seeing this person do anything and be like, ka-ching. It's a different thing when it's your cousin.
Yeah.
So anyway, you get this little lick of what this guy can do as a singer and a guitar player, and you are certain that the movie is going to let him do it at the juke joint.
Yes.
So in the middle of this opening night at this juke joint, Sammy gets his big number called I Lied to You.
Well, I was just a boy, about 8 years old. You threw me a Bible on that Mississippi road. See, I love you, Papa.
He's so good.
It is extremely hot the way he says this, the way he sings it. He's like, I lied to you.
Yes, I lied.
I love the blues.
I love the blues.
I melted in my seat a little bit. I wanted to hear 4 minutes of that, but in the movie, the damnedest thing happens. And it's what we now call the scene.
The scene.
I don't know about people in your life, Rem, but like when people talk about this movie, they only call it the scene.
Yeah.
There's the scene.
I've gotten a couple texts referring to it as the scene.
So in the middle of I Lied to You, I Love the Blues, what happens to you when you see the first sign that something's up?
I did a very hard squint. I was like, is that Bootsy Collins?
Yes.
Blues. It wasn't forced on us like that religion. It's magic what we do. It's sacred. It's big.
In the middle of this number, you're getting a voiceover from one character about the ability of the blues to pierce the veil between the present and the past. And then you see who? You see what you describe as Bootsy, except Bootsy's playing an electric guitar.
Yeah, the electric guitar, I was like, oh, something is changing. It was
Right.
like in my ear and in my eye, but something was changing.
There's a woman twerking at the Catfish station.
I love that.
There is an African drummer.
There's DJs.
Now, meanwhile, all of these people are essentially doing what they do in the eras in which they did them, alongside these people in 1932, right? So the past and the future are commingling with the present.
That's when I was like, I'll go with it. Let's see what happens next.
By the end of this number, the juke joint is burning down.
Is burning down.
And everybody inside the joint is outside the joint, still partying, still having a great time. It's just like a whole compendium of black artistic expression happening in the space of this juke joint alongside the jukers.
Yeah, it's like a Black History Month program.
Ding!
I did at some point ask myself, like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. Do I like this? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And, I took that into my second watch of it, and it kind of landed in a place of like, I'm glad this happened. I wasn't moved necessarily by it, but I did think it was a very cool thing to do.
What was not moving you about this scene? Like, what did you think what wasn't working for you?
I wasn't like, oh, wow, like black music is forever. Like I didn't have like a wow, like we really have like made it far. Like I didn't have like a a very special episode moment, which I think is good. Like, not everything has to be exactly for me.
Right.
One moviegoer. And I think to other people seeing the film, it could help them get to the later points of the movie that become clear with a scene like that. So I did think it did a little necessary hand-holding But I just didn't think Rembert needed my handheld. I was like, yeah, I see what we're doing.
Yes. You need this moment to advance the plot because what happens at the end of the sequence?
You see white people outside. you see what we now know are vampires.
Who have come because this music is so good.
It's so alluring, and it seems as if they need it for their own survival.
When I first saw the trailer for this movie in February, watching a football game, I had a hunch and I texted you about it.
You did.
Do you remember the hunch that I had?
Sorry, I was trying to find the text about the hunch. February 11th. Okay, well, first of all, is my Kendrick suspicion crazy off?
I don't want to put you on the spot, but like, what did you think I meant the first time I asked you about whether or not Sinners had anything to do with, or whether or not Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show could have anything to do with Ryan Coogler's vampire movie Sinners?
Well, you know, I actually have Ryan and Kendrick in a similar bubble of Black creativity and art. And, you know, not just the like pushing mediums forward, but really being people that Black people seem to trust about making art about Black people. So when I saw it, I was like, Coogler, Kendrick. Yeah, like, I think of them similarly.
And basically, I mean, now we have to sort of relive the Super Bowl halftime show, which is basically 13 minutes of Kendrick Lamar just taunting, like, the entire nation.
Yes.
The framing for the halftime show is that there is this Uncle Sam character.
Salutations! It's your Uncle Sam.
Played by Sam Jackson.
Played by Samuel L. Jackson, yes. And he's essentially exhorting Kendrick Lamar not to cross any lines.
Too reckless, too ghetto.
Because, you know, one of the tensions in that during that night was whether or not he was going to perform Not Like Us.
Yes.
The song that is, you know, putatively about Drake. I mean, there's no denying that the song is about...
Yes.
It is about Drake. But it is also about Kendrick's relationship to Black American art and Blackness in particular.
Yeah. It became a whose side are you on? And Kendrick's became the side of Black people. Like that's what the whole thing was about.
They not like us. No, they not like us. No, they not like us.
It's what he's accusing Drake of doing, which is, you know, in the world of the song, it's being a colonizer. It is coming and opportunizing his relationships with Black Americans to enhance his credibility, to bolster his art, to derive inspiration and, you know, by extension, lots of money. Those are the things that Drake is sort of like on trial for, or like not even on trial, in front of the firing squad for.
Yeah. I guess like the modern non-horror movie version of vampires is Culture Vulture, which, you know, I think that it's important that Black people can be called out on this as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the same way Black people can get swept up by vampires. Some Black folk have found a way to capitalize on Black culture in a very vampiric white way. And I think that's a similarity between some of the stuff Ryan is trying to say with Sinners and Kendrick and his all-out assault on a man's career.
I mean, a man's everything, really. I mean,
he really doesn't like Drake. He like really doesn't like him.
I mean, my suspicion with it, Sinners, is this very explicit idea of what a vampire is doing in this movie. And the vampires are vampires.
They are,
but the vampires are also these culture vultures, as you put it, right? And one of the modes of etiquette for vampirism in this movie is that in order for these vampires to enter the juke joint, they need to be invited inside. They need to get an invitation from someone standing on the other side of the threshold to come in. And, you know, with that in mind, with that piece of etiquette in mind, I mean, I hate to be this person, but like, I think that for Kendrick, Drake is a vampire that we let in. We invited him in, and look what he did.
And, you know, this is the part where I guess I'm going to introduce for the first time that we've been talking today, this idea of minstrelsy.
Yeah, I want to talk about it. Yeah.
Because I think it's really on Kendrick's mind in these accusations that he's lobbing at Drake. And it's very much on the mind of this movie.
Yeah.
We meet the central vampire, this character named Rembert. He's played by Jack O'Connell. He's a white guy, and he just flies into the frame at some point outside this couple's house, knocks on their door. They let him in, and he winds up biting them both and turning them into vampires. And we can also see at this point, there is some clan attire, and they become, as vampires, a musical trio.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Good evening. How may I help you folks?
Oh, we heard tale of a party.
As a honky-tonk trio.
Yeah. It's what I would describe as a classic minstrel lineup, right? Mm-hmm. It is a fiddle, a guitar, and a banjo.
A banjo, yeah.
And they perform a song.
Oh, yeah.
And the song is not an accident, I would say. It's called Pick Poor Robin Clean.
Now, on the surface, you know, it's a vampire song. They're talking about, like, you know, eating bodies and stuff.
I picked his head, I picked his feet. I would have picked his body, but it wasn't fit to eat, or I picked poor Robin clean.
But this is also, in real life, an old guitar rack from like the late 19th century, maybe the early 20th century. And it was recorded in the early 1930s by an act called Kishi and LV. That's the most famous iteration of this song. It's by these two black women. And they were doing this song around the time that this movie is set.
And this is also on the soundtrack.
I had not heard that version.
What's coming up for you?
I think the thing that comes up is that, to use modern slang, they tried to invite themselves to the cookout.
Yes.
And did not have the necessary identifiers or tools to receive said invite.
But Rem, there is that moment though where after they do this, where after the three minstrels do this, the vampire minstrels, by the way,
yes.
The vampire minstrels do this song. What? Somebody on the other side of that door says what? That wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know what? They ain't half bad.
I did remember having this thought when I heard that. It reminded me of like growing up when like a white boy could dance.
Say go white boy, go white boy, go! Go
white boy, go white boy. Yep,
Like that chant would start. I'm like, this feels like a kind of low bar. And that might be how we got to this place. Like as commentary, it's like we got too easily impressed. You know, you hear people talking about how we should have gate-kept our culture better. Like I've heard that sentiment. And I think it's, if I look back at the last like 15 years, like hip hop made it to the top and then we got really excited about being at the top. And part of staying at the top is letting in outside forces. And you lose some of the authenticity.
I mean, I agree with you, but I also think this movie is trying to offer something really complicated about the relationship between Black people and white people when it comes to making music. Because, you know, one of the things that Rembert, who's the lead vampire, is offering to the folks in the club is...
We believe in equality and music. We just came here to play.
Everything is equality in music in our world. And if you come join it, I mean, this is what you have forever. Like white people in the rest of this in this piece aren't trying to offer you anything but death.
Yeah.
Or, you know, not death, because in dying for us, you could live forever. But think about what it costs. It's either like you stay in your flesh and live with Jim Crow, or you give us your soul.
Yeah, and when that message got out, I was like, this feels like someone acknowledging that, you know, resisting temptation from vampires is not, like, it's a hard thing to do. Like, a lot of times, like, a really delicious looking carrot will be dangled.
I mean, at some point, Rembert, we should just say what the vampires are doing here. They are people who want a sound that they think is great and a culture that they think is irresistible.
Yeah, and once the vampires, you know, bite other people and turn them into vampires, we see their kind of like musical collective grow.
I love that word.
Yeah,
I love collective.
Towards the end of the movie, like the main guy, Rembert, goes into like full river dance.
Yes.
And it becomes like an Irish jig, which, you know, felt purposeful. The fact that it was an Irish jig.
They aren't doing, you know, the funkiest. They're not doing yacht rock. They're not doing.
It's not The Scene Part 2 starring like vampires.
Right.
Did you ever think that Rembert is like the devil? Like, there's the thing, like his eyes lit up, I think, differently. Like, I think they were red or something, but he felt like a cult leader. I didn't know what to do with him. He just felt like a different type of vampire.
I wonder if the thing that you're identifying is not so much the biblical devil as much as it is this moment and what is on political offer for Black people from people who claim to care about Blackness, Black people, Black culture, what can be done for them. I think there's something very MAGA in a weird way about what Rembert is offering, which is that, you know, it can't be worse than Jim Crow, what we're doing over here.
Yeah. It's a deal with the devil, even if he's not the devil.
Yes.
Well, you know, that sentiment does take me back to a thought, which is like this movie even though it's 1932 set, it feels like a movie made in 2025 because of the things that are happening in our real world. It's like, you know, I was laughing about this the other day, but I went back and watched that clip of Issa Rae saying, "I'm rooting for everybody Black."
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody Black. I am betting on Black tonight.
And I was like, just 4 years ago, I feel like I kind of was also. I was like, but I think I hadn't seen enough people, kind of take the bait that Rembert is offering, which is like, come over here. Like, you'll be more powerful. You'll make more money. You'll get more attention. You'll have more fame. Like, whatever you want it to be, I feel like I'm like, ooh, I need to ask some more questions, like regardless of what you look like. And I do feel like that was a message that I took away.
What was coming up for you in that moment? Like, think just making this equation between these two offerings. Issa Rae sort of rooting for everybody black, and this extension of I don't know, kumbaya that Rembert is offering, this fake kumbaya that Rembert is offering the people at the juke joint.
Yeah, I mean, I think MAGA is not a 100% white thing.
Oh no.
Like,
that is an energy.
It is an energy that has an allure and makes people look at their current life and be like, things aren't going right. I should just do a full 180.
Yeah.
Some people are taking that bait, and it feels like a very similar bait to the one that Rembert is offering. He's like, yo, like, the music is good. We got community. So yeah, that was the parallel.
I know what you mean, and I think that there's another version of this movie in which Rembert is the star, and he is going around this town making this offer to people, right? Like door knocking on doors, asking people to like let him in, and people are like, well, that sounds pretty good to me. I mean,
yeah,
I've got Jim Crow over here or eternal life with you over here. I guess I can do this jig for the rest of my life. Do this jig. Think about that. I mean, think about the dance, like the dancing that you'd be doing with Rembert too, right?
It's just like Michael Flatley, like legs everywhere.
There was a fight over this movie between three studios were fighting about it. 3 studios wanted to make it.
Okay.
And eventually, he went with Warner Brothers. And part of the deal is that Ryan Coogler will get the rights to this movie, to Sinners, in 25 years. The intellectual property of this movie will belong to him. And I don't know how old that makes him in 25 years.
He's 38, like 63, 25 years, a 63-year-old.
So this man, who also has the option, the possibility of making sequels, has essentially done something unprecedented or very rare in the movie business, which is get the rights to his movies back, or a movie. This one movie. And I mean, you live in Los Angeles. I'm sure you felt the reverberations, A, when the deal got made.
Yeah.
And B, when people found out about the deal, which unleashed a strange amount of scorn and disdain and side-eye from a lot of people claiming that the movie business was over.
It was done.
And I'm like, oh, so now the movie business is over.
Yeah.
Because this black man, when he's 63, is going to get the rights to his movie.
To this one movie so far. I mean, beyond like loving that for him, I do. And this is a personal take, but it's his 5th movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's something that you do for yourself, but you also do for other people.
Yes.
It's one of it signals out to the public, to the culture, to black people, like, hey, this can be you too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't do it for you, but like, this is a thing we can do. And yes, like it took me making 2 Black Panthers and a Creed, to get there. But it felt like one of those things that was bigger than him. And the fact that it elicited like such, like, there goes the neighborhood.
Yes.
Reaction.
Yes.
Like, kind of supports the film. And, it kind of is like, well, there it is.
Yes. I mean, the other thing that we haven't really mentioned is the carping about the movie's opening weekend numbers. And, it made $48 million its opening weekend, making it number 1 at the box office. Now, ordinarily, this is not a thing I would get into, but I just want to be clear about what exactly hit number 1 at the box office. I just want to remind us all what we're talking about. We're talking about a movie not from a Marvel or DC property.
Yes.
Not based on something that was a hit 40 years ago. By a Black director set in 1932 in Mississippi during Jim Crow, about the blues. Nothing about that happens every weekend.
Nope.
Nothing about that is a safe gamble. There is some risk here. And the idea that the fact that this movie is as big a hit as it is, it's telling me that we are hungry for something. It's telling me that there are still people out here who are just haters.
Yeah. Just like, well, I think something like that happens and people start thinking about their own future. And you're like, like, does this replace me? Where do I fit in? I was like, oh, some people in power are scared about what this could lead to. And just like going back into a shorter time capsule, like, yes, it was important that the Miami Heat posted an Instagram of their hoodies up for Trayvon, but it was super important that LeBron James, the biggest star in the league, was doing that, because it makes other people feel like, oh, like I should speak up at my job. It kind of keeps everyone focused on what the goals are supposed to be, which is like still like freedom for everyone. And I think I felt very motivated by both centers, the art, and also, like part of the deal is that he got like final cut say on the movie. And I'm like, that felt as big as the 25 years thing. Like a Black man is getting to decide what his Black movie looks like. That feels huge.
And I think that the best way to do that is to have it come entirely from your head, right?
Yeah.
And your imagination.
I mean, when I, leaving Sinners for the second time, I, walking through my AMC and, every movie on the wall is a sequel. And I'm like, this is different. This is like a different moment.
The idea that this man, I don't know what his career is going to be like in 25 years, but like, here is a person who cares about this art form and wants it to survive and knows what it means for him as an African-American man to be a participant in its proliferation and its longevity. Like, he wants a piece of that is more immediate than the opening weekend gross.
Yeah.
And I think that, the reason why that's important is signposted in this movie all over it. This movie is about what Prince said about owning your masters or else they'll own you, or else your master will own you.
I just found it both very inspiring that he got it done, but my takeaway wasn't necessarily like, okay, Rem, so like the new the new benchmark is owning your own movie. It's like, I haven't even made a movie. But it reminded me to keep my eye out for the vampires. It reminded me not to say yes to just anything. The things that we make about Black people are important, and like, they are to be consumed by everyone, but
with care.
With care.
Rem, we did it.
We did it.
We got to the bottom of Sinners.
We did.
America. Hollywood. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, my friend. We'll always come back.
You did it! We're at the end of the episode. You're watching this on YouTube. I would just ask that now that you've made it here, just like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.